Thank you for coming, guys, and thank you for Lombiq Technologies for hosting us here today. And thank you for Nikki, because all started with you for this event, and of course, like the power of networking. I really believe in that, and my presentation will be a little bit about this as well. And I would like to start with, of course, my name is Isabel. I come from Udine, northeast of Italy, so not too far from Budapest, maybe 8 hours door to door. But I lived in London, I worked there, and the recent years I traveled between Europe, Southeast Asia, and Central America. My background is in hospitality, business support, and operation. I currently freelance. I have some gigs here and there, and also recently I started to collaborate with Women and Climate as a freelancer in the social media department. And now I'm trying to focus my career on circular economy and innovation. That's really my passion at the moment. So here is just a picture from my beautiful region in Italy, Fusina Lakes. I just really hope all of this won't disappear one day. So this is, of course, related to climate change. And why I'm here today, really like our main aim was to meet you guys, and of course it's a good opportunity to share some learning resources that Nikki and we have been learning over the past months and years, and to spark ideas on global initiatives that I've seen during my travels. So here there was like a beach cleanup that we will see later as well. So what got me started, a bit of a mix with my family, first of all. My grandma always told me, like, climate change is happening, pollution is there, we really need to do something about it. I won't be here, but you guys, your generation will have major issues. So she was right, and now we are facing the consequences, but we can take like small steps as individuals and do something about it. Also from my family, my parents taught me the value of resources that we have. So it was very important for me since I was a child to use like the clothes as long as possible, fix what is broken, and really like try to have like a minimalism approach towards life in general. In school instead, somehow I got passionate about sustainability, but a bit more, and I found online some solar power banks, and somehow I influenced my schoolmates to buy some as well at no extra cost to them, so I literally sold them to them. And it's also in high school is where I started to buy second-hand clothes before it became very popular now with Vinted and other platforms. At work instead, when I was in London, I was trying to raise awareness around the sustainability topics. And it was very sweet that at the end of my journey with a company, I received from a colleague this book, How to Go Plastic Free. So it mattered to me because it means that it was all for something, like people didn't ignore me when I was talking about sustainable topics. And later, more in the recent years, in the past 5 years, I've been traveling. And in Sri Lanka, my partner and I, we joined some beach cleanups with a local surf school. We also documented it. We helped providing gloves and bags. And also it was nice because we were also splitting the waste according to the right materials. So yeah, we did that on a weekly basis. In Bali instead, we were trying to find an off-the-beaten-path waterfall, but a local rice worker joined us and helped us find a way. But the heartbreaking thing was that, as you can see here on the left, we found literally a river of trash and plastic, mostly clothes, and I found also children uniforms there. So it's really like, I thought that not only tourism is doing this, but also locals, unfortunately. And on the right side, you can see like a trash barrier. This is not my picture, but actually a friend of mine that relocated to Bali told me about this solution. So they are trying to do something, and on a regular basis they empty the river so it doesn't end up in the ocean. So yeah, it's not the best solution, but at least they are doing something about it. In Cambodia instead, like we visited a lotus farm. The main goal there is to create clothes with the silk that you can obtain from the lotus flower. And not only that, so here they really have a circular approach to this business. Basically, they also use the lotus stems to create vegan leather, so after they can also produce bags. And they're really trying to use the old parts of the flower to create other things. In Bangkok instead, this year in January, I visited a massive landfill. Has anyone visited a big, scary landfill at all? No? Okay. Yeah, it was heavy, like, of course, on all your senses, really. So we visited that a little bit from afar. We didn't explore it very well, but it was enough for this picture on the left for me to see the seagulls flying above the mountains of trash. And next to it, there is a facility that is trying to convert plastic waste into bio-oil. At the moment, unfortunately, only transparent plastic and only plastic gathered from, for example, hospitals or partners. So the waste is not taken from the landfill yet. I hope they will do it in future, but it's interesting procedure that what they are trying to accomplish, because also this reactor, it works with no oxygen, but they are slowly burning the plastic and turning it into bio-oil that, for example, can be used to sell back to Shell, like big companies with fuel and benzene. So yeah, they are trying to achieve like zero carbon emissions. So all these experiences led me here, also thanks to like some freelance work with a social impact startup. I found out that really it's possible to have like a meaningful career. And even though that social impact startup was not in the climate field, but it boosted me to find like my roots, passions, also thanks to a life coach. And yeah, I put all the pieces together, and I realized I really like circular economy topics and innovative ideas. So that's where I am at now. And do you know anything about circular economy, or at least heard it once in your life? Okay, very good. Now it's very popular, of course, with clothes, the fashion industry. But yeah, in a nutshell, we don't have unlimited resources. We need to keep items in use as long as possible. And it's possible not only depending on us, of course, but also depending on companies according to the design of items and so on. But just to give you some data, resource extraction has tripled since the 70s. That's shocking. 7,000 liters of water to create a pair of jeans. That's, I think, also quite mind-blowing. And it needs 22 kilos of chemicals to produce a 2 kilos laptop. So between all the liquids, I think for the screen, the glue together, I think, and several others that I wouldn't know right now, but yeah, the source is UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. And in a nutshell as well, that's the usual approach we are having is linear economy. So whatever we extract and gets produced ends up in landfill and goes to waste. But we should really try this approach. So circular economy, to reuse things, trying to reuse if something is broken, trying to make something out of it, to create even something completely different. It doesn't have to be reused like with fashion, again, just to be worn. So yeah. And what can you do? So I will talk about communities. Women and Climate is the one that I'm collaborating with, is women and non-binary professionals that meet in person, mostly around the world and online. I really like, because I'm in the social media department, I see all the events happening around the globe, and like even super creative events happening, like a repair cafe, or like they're going to botanical gardens or picnics on a monthly basis. And on the website you can find also speaker database. So you can find speakers that could probably come and present some events. And is on a Slack dashboard that, or platform that we were talking about, like the one that Nikki mentioned before, the Work on Climate. Also on Women and Climate you can find the job boards published there, as well as Work on Climate. And on Women and Climate, for example, my first ever networking opportunity that I received something out of it was with a lady from Hong Kong that she put me in contact with some people on Hong Kong that they were running green events. Of course, there were some visa problems there, but so I couldn't take advantage of it, but it was still very nice that she put me in touch and she was open to that. We Work on Climate. I talked with a guy that was just coming out from a corporate sustainability role, and he wanted to start his own business with some circular economy topics. And instead with Creatives for Climate, of course, like the word says it, it's more for creative people, so designer, artists, but it's really open to anyone, so I joined as well. I'm not so much on that platform, but something good came out of that as well. So I met a lady after we exchanged messages on LinkedIn, and I was not there on the platform for like the previous 2-3 weeks at least. But then she reached out to me on LinkedIn and she said, like, Isabel, look, there is an operation role on Creatives for Climate, with Creatives for Climate. Have you checked it? Have you applied for it? And I said, oh no. So that's the power of networking as well. I applied for it, I didn't get the job, but I still, like, it was very nice of her to notify me about it. And last one is Open Door Climate. It's a bit similar to the experts that Nikki said about Work on Climate that you can find on the website. But Open Door Climate is really purely a directory of, with experts. They're open to have one-to-ones with you of 15 minutes max. And you can filter by their country, how many years they have worked in sustainability, and also what is their specialty. So this week I had actually 2 phone calls, one with a sustainability consultant and one with a guy from India that works with the Economic Forum. So they just provided me some resources and maybe some future opportunities. As a general advice for me is really reach out to the people on LinkedIn, or like just send that message that you are afraid to send, because like the climate community is very open, very nice, and they're always trying, there's always somebody trying to help you out there. So don't be shy and just send that message. For workshop, webinars, and courses, these are my 4 favorite ones that I picked. Of course, there are many out there, but the first one that I used was a United Nations CC Learn website. Is of course from the United Nations, are free courses on a wide range of topics. It's free, and actually you also get a little certificate at the end that you can publish on your LinkedIn profile. And recently they put out something related to circular economy, so I can't wait to check them out. And the second one is AMI Earth Sustainability for Professionals. They focus mostly on education, and they hold on monthly basis free engaging webinars in a very fun and interesting way. Is more like some fundamentals about climate and nature. But I think the next one is like early July, so you can check their website out. And the third one is Circular Economy Collage, which is inspired by Climate Fresque. I've done like 3 weeks ago. It was like €5 because I joined like maybe like 1 week before. I think like last minute is €15. And it's also, like Nikki said, that with her Climate Fresque that she did in person, This one is online, but you can simultaneously with other 3 people, you can move around the cards, and it's all about circular economy fundamentals. So yeah, it was like 3 hours, was super fun, and I networked also with the people that played with me. So yeah, the last one is Ellen MacArthur Foundation. I don't know if anybody heard about this one. It's based in the UK. Ellen MacArthur is a lady that was a former sailor. She circumnavigated the globe, and apparently she was the fastest to do that. But after this long journey, she focused on the circular economy. You can check her video online to learn more about her story. But they have an amazing platform and website with videos and also a podcast that you can see on Spotify. So yeah, I highly recommend this if, of course, you're starting to get a bit like me into circular economy. So thank you for listening. If you want to connect on LinkedIn, here I am. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask away.